It is Thursday, the 30th day of January 2025, exactly 9 p.m. East African time. You are perfectly right in time for KUTV News at 9 on this day. Quite a lot is making headlines in the world of news, locally, nationally, internationally, and even beyond. And here is a glimpse of the stories to expect tonight. Justus Mutumwa and Martin Mwau, among 3 individuals abducted in Mlolongo, found dead today. IG Douglas Kanja and DCI boss Mohammed Amin finally appear in court over the disappearance of 3 individuals in Mlolongo. And Meteorological Department announces heavy rainfall in some counties from March to May this year. Rwandan President Paul Kagame threatens to confront South Africa after President Cyril Ramaphosa linked Rwanda to the killing of 13 of its soldiers.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Theo Macharia.
Alright, that being in order, remember we'd love to hear your comments, your feedback or your suggestions, where this broadcast is coming to you live on our social media platforms: YouTube, KUTV News Kenya, X at KUTV_Kenya, and remember the hashtag to use tonight is KUTV News at 9, or even follow me across my social media platforms, that is at Theo_Macharia. On the Sign Language Interpretation Desk is Sami Okelo, and together let's bring you up pace and candid with the latest shaping your world of news. And we begin where the March, April, May rains are expected to start earlier than usual this year, with rainfall anticipated to begin in February. The shift in weather patterns will bring varying levels of precipitation across the country, with some areas receiving above normal rainfall, while others may experience below average showers. This report was produced by Helen Kiplangat.
The National Meteorological Department has announced that the March-April-May rainy season will begin earlier than usual, with rains expected to start in February. This shift in weather patterns means different regions across the country will experience varying levels of rainfall, some above normal and others below average. According to the forecast, parts of Western Kenya including Siaya, Busia, Nyamira, Vihiga and Bungoma are said to receive more rainfall than usual. Similar patterns are expected in Kisumu, Narok, Kericho, Elgeyo Marakwet, Homa Bay, Bomet, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, Migori, Kisii, Kakamega and Trans Nzoia. Some areas of West Pokot will also experience above normal rainfall, with a likelihood of prolonged wet conditions. However, the forecast warns that the rains will be scarce in certain regions. Northwestern Kenya, covering Turkana, Samburu and parts of West Pokot, is expected to receive below average rainfall. A similar trend is anticipated in parts of northeastern Kenya, including Mandera, Marsabit and Garissa, where dry conditions may persist. Other parts of the country, including Nairobi, Nyandarua, Nyeri and Kiambu, are projected to receive minimal rainfall. Southeastern counties such as Kitui, Makueni and Machakos, along with coastal regions including Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi and Lamu, will also record lower than average rainfall, a pattern that could impact agriculture.
All right, and the bodies of 2 individuals who were abducted in Mlolongo in December last year were found today in a mortuary. The first to be found was Justus Mutumwa. His body was officially identified earlier today at the Nairobi Funeral Home mortuary. Mutumwa went missing on December 16th last year, along with Martin Mwau and Karani Mwema. Later, the body of Martin Mwau was also found in the same mortuary. For over a month, their families were left in the dark about their whereabouts. According to Mutumo's family, they were informed that his body had been discovered in Ruai and taken to the mortuary on December 18th, just 2 days after his disappearance. However, the National Police Service has maintained it was never involved in the alleged abduction of the four, and it is only involved in probing the matter.
One is, kuna miili miwili, moja bado haijatambulika. Mwili wa petitioner number 1 ambao mwanzo kabisa ulipatikana Ruai. Familia yao wametambua ni yeye. Na wametambua wakati tulikuwa tunaendelea hapa kotini, ndio familia wameitwa kule City Mortuary na wakatambua ya kwamba petitioner number 1 ni mtoto yao. Kuna ndugu yake pale na kuna ango yake pale. Kwa hivyo wao wamesema huyo wametambua ni mtoto wao, na hata imeangaliwa kwa fingerprints na ikatambulika ni yeye.
And President William Ruto has heaped praises on the Kenya Kwanza administration while meeting with Kenyans living in Cairo, Egypt. Ruto boasted of a stabilized and growing economy alongside low inflation rates. He further commended the crucial role played by Kenyans in diaspora, pointing to a remittance of more than $4.94 billion in 2024. Here is more with Brenda Nyongesa.
While addressing Kenyans in Egypt, President William Ruto emphasized the essential role of ensuring quality education and adequate training for Kenyans working globally. He praised Kenya's human capital, highlighting it as more valuable than any mineral resource.
For Kenyans to work across the world, it's very important that we have the right quality of education and training. If there is one resource we have as a country that is more precious than any mineral, it is our human resource. We have a culture of hard work. Kenyans, wherever they are, the quality of Kenyan labor is outstanding.
The president detailed the measures his government has taken to address the teacher shortage, including the recruitment of 76,000 teachers. He also applauded the new university funding model, which he believes has enhanced the stability and growth of universities.
To be able to reduce the gap of teachers, we have hired an unprecedented 76,000 teachers today to make sure that our children in school have men and women to teach them. We have aligned our competence-based curriculum appropriately. In fact, we are completing the transition next year to grade 10. That means that there is now greater coherence, understanding, synergy, and parents now understand what's going to happen next. New funding model has now made all the universities that were almost collapsing, that were almost bankrupt, now they are standing on their feet.
According to the president, through housing development projects, his government has created 250,000 jobs and improved living standards while also preserving land for agricultural use.
Because of the housing plan, we have created 250,000 jobs. We are creating decent livelihoods. We are creating a robust market infrastructure, and we are making a difference in securing land for our agricultural production by avoiding land fragmentation.
President Ruto further highlighted the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology's digital job program, which has opened up remote employment opportunities and facilitated partnerships between Kenyan professionals and companies worldwide.
We have now rolled out a big program under the Ministry of ICT on digital jobs. We have so many companies across the world who are looking for Kenyans to work for them. Not to work for them in their countries, but to work for them from Kenya. What we are calling business process outsourcing. The largest business process outsourcing company in the world has just opened an office in Kenya.
The president remains optimistic that through strategic policies focused on education and employment, Kenyan workers will continue to thrive on global stage. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
All right, many thanks, Brenda Nyongesa, for that comprehensive report. Let's now move on where Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and DCI boss Mohamed Amin have finally appeared in court today following a long period of no-show for court summons. The two were summoned to answer questions regarding the disappearance of 3 young men popularly referred to as the Mlolongo Three. While in court, the duo denied having taken the 4 into custody and claimed to have no information on the whereabouts of the young men.
A few days after Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and the Director of Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI Mohamed Amin received a court order to appear in Milimani Court regarding the disappearance of 3 young men known as Mlolongo Three, they have finally complied with the order and appeared in court.
Your Honor, I'm appearing before this honorable court pursuant to a court order that directed I do appear to give an account of the 3 persons.
Kanja explained that the report of the disappearance of the 3 men was registered at the Athi River police station in the Mlolongo area.
There is Mororogo police station at the OB number 43/25 43/25.
Furthermore, after giving his statement regarding the 3 missing young men who disappeared on December 15th, including Justus Mutumwa, Martin Mwau, and Karani Mwema, Kanja assured Kenyans that despite the disappearance of the 3 men during the Christmas holidays, the security situation remained stable.
To let the people of Kenya know that they are safe through the entire season. All the people who are here, they enjoyed the Christmas festivities and many other holidays that were there because this country is safe.
The director of DCI, Mohamed Amin, acknowledged that he was aware of kidnapping cases involving youths in the country, also mentioning that investigations were still ongoing. However, Amin claimed that the 3 men were not under police custody.
My Lord, I wish to confirm that the investigations are still ongoing. And at an appropriate time, the files will be forwarded to the ODPP, complete with our findings and recommendations.
Earlier on January 17, 2025, Judge Mwita rejected a request made by Kanja's lawyer Paul Nyamodi, which sought orders to summon Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and DCI Director Mohamed Amin to court. The judge stated that he was unsure about the email used to make the request.
We have none.
The two have so far continued to deny knowledge of the whereabouts of the 3 missing young men. However, they have assured the court that investigations are still underway. Ochieng Cynthia, KUTV.
All right, and that story by Ochieng Cynthia brings us to our first short commercial break right here on KUTV News at 9 on this day, the 30th day of January 2025. See you on the other side with more top stories. Keep it KUTV, don't go too far.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health. From diet to mental health, the familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
Starting Saturday, 25th January of 2025, the ever-entertaining, educative and energizing high school fair will be taking place at KU Graduation Square. The event will start from 9 a.m. and will be live on KUTV Kenya. The event will be open to all high school students free of charge. Join us and learn more on the academic programs and interact with the different faculties. Public lectures on topical issues will also be taking place throughout the week, with corporate exhibitions taking center stage as well. The official opening ceremony will take place on the 28th of January 2025 at the KU Graduation Square. This year's theme is dubbed Future Outlook: Careers for Sustainable Development in the Digital Age and Green Economy. Be part of us as we mark the 2025 KU Career Week Fair.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
KUTV Primetime News with Theo Macharia.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast, and let's now proceed where, despite an emergency meeting by the East African community, the confusion surrounding the fighting between the DRC military and M23 rebels may persist, with tensions escalating further after Rwanda President Paul Kagame threatened war with South Africa. Now, this is after South African President Cyril Ramaphosa claimed that Rwandan soldiers were involved in the killing of 13 troops who were part of the Southern African Development Community, famously known as SADC, peacekeeping force in the DRC. Here is that report.
The situation of the developing crisis east of the Democratic Republic of Congo is rapidly deteriorating, with M23 rebel groups escalating their offensive, seizing key territory and intensifying clashes with Congolese forces.
Threats they are talking about.
Rwanda's President Paul Kagame responding angrily on X to a post by President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, 13 of whose soldiers have been killed in eastern Congo since last week. Ramaphosa attributed the fighting to an escalation by the M23 and the Rwandan army.
Last 2 days, on Monday and today this morning, I spoke with the President of South Africa, who sought me out to speak with me on this matter because of their involvement in Eastern Congo.
Kagame has expressed disappointment in the South African president's remarks, saying that what had been reported was not true.
And he's also there pretending to be playing a peacemaker role and he has a force that has been fighting alongside FDLR.
Your Excellencies, thank you very much for responding to my invitation.
Crisis meetings on the matter among East African presidents have been ongoing on the stalemate in the last entrant to the East African Union, with DRC Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi missing the first crisis assembly.
Not see this coming. I for one, I saw it coming to be where we are now.
The 8-member East African community, to which Rwanda and Congo both belong, held a virtual summit late Wednesday to discuss the crisis. The final communique largely embraced Rwanda's position, calling for a peaceful resolution of the conflict through direct talks between Congo and the armed groups.
What did we want from the beginning? What did we do about that?
Kagame has consistently denied accusations of providing support to M23, despite a chorus of condemnation, including Germany cancelling aid talks with Rwanda and Britain threatening to withhold $40 million of annual bilateral assistance. Uganda has also been linked to the conflict, further complicating the fragile situation.
Has been fighting the M23 on the instructions of Tshisekedi, because these are people who are not supposed to be in Congo, that these are from Rwanda, or the M23 are not.
The EAC also recommended a joint summit to discuss the crisis with the South African Development Community, SADC.
Of the whole international community just confused. They talked about Rwanda, they talked about the Nairobi process. Honestly, even here, maybe you will help me understand what all this means. The processes became an end in themselves. And the people leading these processes became more important than the results of the processes.
The M23's long-term objectives appear to be more ambitious than ever, with reports indicating the fighters were advancing south from the town of Minova along the western side of Lake Kivu, having tried to take the town of Nyabibwe about 50 kilometers north of Bukavu on Wednesday. The escalation echoes the events of 2012, when M23 briefly seized Goma before withdrawing under international pressure. More than 100 people have been killed in the latest clashes, with nearly 1,000 wounded. Peacekeepers have also suffered losses, including troops from South Africa, Malawi, and Uruguay. Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.
All right, many thanks, Emmanuel Kutosi, for that comprehensive report. Hundreds of warehouse workers from Changamwe, Mombasa, are appealing to the government to intervene and resolve a payment rate stalemate that has remained unresolved by their employers. Workers under the Kenya Shipping Clearing, Freight, Logistics and Warehouse Union staged a peaceful demonstration in Changamwe demanding the full implementation of the 2023-24 collective bargaining agreement. The uproar escalated as rival groups, including union officials and brokers, clashed, leading to property damage. Led by their branch union officials, the irate workers who work at various go-downs in Changamwe also blamed the infiltration of cartels and brokers, who they accused of frustrating the implementation of the CBA. Union Chair Shikingi Shevo has called for a halt in work until warehouse owners address the workers' payment grievances, urging authorities to intervene and resolve the escalating situation.
Sisi ambao ni tunasitia hii committee ya warehouse workers tumeitwa kwa DCI. Hata leo saa 8 tunaenda katika DCI kule Urban. Hiyo yote wanasema tunaeneza uhalifu, ili hali tulipewa majukumu ya kuunganisha wafanyikazi na kuleta mtetezi ambaye ni union. Union ilipoleta CBA yao, kuna makateli wametokea. Hawa makontrakta wanakaa pamoja, wanaandika mikataba yao ya uongo.
Na sasa mimi ningeomba hata viongozi wote watuingilie hili swala, manake tumechoka. Watu wote kabisa tumechoka. Tumechoka kunyanyaswa na madalali na hao watu wetu ambao ni viongozi ambao wameingilia wanajiita masarangi. Pia nao wameingilia wanatunyanyasa. Na ndio wameleta shida katika hii idara yote, wamehusisha watu wagawanyike, wale wasimamie milango yao na sisi utukae hivyo hivyo.
All right, and conservation in Kenya are using artificial intelligence-powered application to monitor forest degradation and launch reforestation. The data collected by the application is also used to project the amount of carbon that can be stored by a growing patch of forest. Voice of America's Juma Majanga now reports.
Cedric Kiplimo is assembling his artificial intelligence-powered stereoscopic camera at Dedan Kimathi University of Technology in Kenya's Central Region. Next, he will head out to collect data.
We really do not have granular data on forests. Developed nations usually have like things called national forest inventories, which are essentially huge collections of data sets on forests, like, you know, individual measurements of these trees, from sample plots and so on. In Africa, we don't have that.
So Kiplimo is trying to change that with the help of an AI-powered application called Tree Vision. Tree Vision uses stereoscopic images of trees to provide a three-dimensional understanding of the area. It does this by generating data on trees' height, diameter, and other features. It also indicates the level of degradation in a given area. This information can be used to inform reforestation efforts and monitor the growth of trees in reforested areas. The app can also project the amount of carbon that can be stored within a growing patch of forest. All this will make the work of conservationists much easier.
If you can take away some of the burdensome tasks that they may have to do and make them automate some of them and also be able to capture data more easily, it allows them to monitor larger areas and then save their time to maybe to implement on interventions.
The Global Forest Watch says Kenya lost about 8% of its humid primary forest or old growth rainforest over the past 2 decades. And that in part led to a 12% decrease in Kenya's total tree cover. Conservationists say human activities contributed to that loss.
A lot of our people out there resort to harvesting trees, probably for charcoal or timber or something else in order to survive. The other losses experienced is the kind of land use that is happening. A lot of people are clearing even very marginal areas to do farming.
The Kenyan government launched a campaign in late 2022 to plant 15 billion trees by 2032. James Mwangombe says innovations like Tree Vision can help Kenya reach that target.
Such innovations will be very welcome because they'll cut down on cost, both labor and actual finance, as compared to when you have officers on the ground to go and do the actual counting and assessments.
As Kenya works to restore its lost tree cover, Kiplimo hopes his innovation can help restoration efforts succeed. Juma Majanga, VOA News, Nyeri, Kenya.
All right, and the Trump administration has ordered a 3-month pause on almost all foreign development assistance pending a review to see what fits under his America First policy. Aid groups and human rights watchdogs warn that the move will put countless lives around the world at risk. VOA's Anita Powell reports from the White House.
The U.S. spent just short of $70 billion on foreign aid in fiscal year 2023, most of that through the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID. The U.S. is the world's largest provider of humanitarian assistance and a global leader on HIV prevention and treatment through the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief Program, or PEPFAR.
We found solutions. We built new and diverse coalitions, and we worked together.
With a stroke of his pen, President Donald Trump put all but the most urgently needed food assistance on ice, part of his charge to realign the U.S.'s foreign stance with its America First policy. The order pauses new obligations and disbursements of development assistance funds for 90 days while they are reviewed. The White House laid out its rationale for a similar move, pausing all federal grants and loans starting on Tuesday, though Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt did not clarify which domestic programs are on pause.
The past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason we've had an inflation crisis in this country, and it's incumbent upon this administration to make sure, again, that every penny is being accounted for honestly.
The White House did not reply to VOA's questions for more details on which foreign assistance programs would be impacted. Humanitarian groups are sounding the alarm about the foreign programs, some of which focus on issues like gender equity, business development, and, critically, the provision of U.S.-funded HIV drugs, which Biden officials called a key pillar of Washington's relations with the developing world.
The Secretary General notes with concern the announcement of a pause in U.S. foreign assistance. He calls for additional exemptions to be considered to ensure the continued delivery of critical development and humanitarian activities for the most vulnerable communities around the world. Those lives and livelihoods depend on this support.
The largest single USAID project in fiscal year 2023 provided $14 billion in non-military assistance to Ukraine. Human rights watchdogs say they welcome robust accountability over U.S. taxpayer funds, but not pausing assistance during the review.
If you want to review all of the assistance, start your review. Be crystal clear on what you're looking at. Don't suspend life-sustaining and life-saving aid while you do that review.
And analysts expressed concerns about the immediate impact of the stop work order.
There are real concerns about the immediate impact of a stop work order on foreign assistance. We must remember that foreign assistance includes such humanitarian projects that relate to administration of vaccines, for example, to children around the world to make sure that they don't get communicable diseases.
On those global public health issues, Trump's stance is clear. He also announced on his first day in office that he would pull out of the World Health Organization, citing concerns that the U.S. is being ripped off as the organization's largest donor. He did the same during his first term. Anita Powell, VOA News, the White House.
All right, and 34 minutes past the top of the hour, we are taking our second short commercial break right here on Kutv News at 9. Tonight, the 30th day of January. See you on the other side with a sports story coming your way. Keep it KUTV.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
In a world where uncertainty rules and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, business strategies, and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, what you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
All right, welcome back, and now let's get sporty with an interesting sports story where Kenya National Paralympics competition concluded the trials to select teams that will represent the country in the upcoming championship. The teams, which comprise of experienced and new debutants, will be banking on a pool of talent from the newbies for future success. Auma Evans reports from Kenyatta University Sports Ground.
The search for the team to represent Kenya in the upcoming para-athletics and powerlifting games is over. This is after the Kenya National Paralympic Committee concluded team selection process at Kenyatta University playing ground.
These championships will be used to select athletes who will be representing the country in various international events. The first one being the Faza Dubai Grand Prix from the 6th of February to the 14th of February next month.
The next step for the team is to hit the ground running in training camp to sharpen their skills before major tournament.
There's a team that will be joining the camp from tomorrow. The team that will be participating in the Dubai Grand Prix will join camp tomorrow because we were waiting for this event so that we can select athletes to join the camp. So they'll join the National Residential Training Camp from tomorrow up to the 5th when the team will depart for Dubai.
The team, which is a blend of newbies and experienced athletes, will be banking on a pool of talent drawn from the exercise to improve on Kenya's ranking in the global arena.
So what is important is we start preparing for LA 2028 now. And I'm sure come LA, we'll have a better performance. But we did well in Paris. We don't have any regrets.
In words of Ronald Milare, the past doesn't really matter. What counts at the end of the day is looking forward for a brighter future. Auma Evans for KUTV at Kenyatta University Playing Grounds, Nairobi.
All right, exactly 40 minutes past the top of the hour. That story by Auma Evans brings us to a wrap of news at 9 on this day, the 30th day of January 2025. Many thanks to you, our dear viewer, for keeping tabs with us for the past 40 minutes. For all of us who've tuned on YouTube, I can see David Mutiso. Many thanks, David Mutiso, for watching this broadcast on YouTube at KTV News Kenya. Also, Wise Kuria, many thanks for watching this broadcast. He's saying he's watching all the way from Makuyu in Murang'a County. Many thanks, Wise Kuria, for watching this broadcast. And also for them who've tuned in across my social media platforms, that is at Theo_Macharia. Many thanks for making this broadcast a success. Not forgetting my director Melton Conchella and also my producer Yvonne Kemuma, who's made this broadcast a success. And also on the graphics was Levis. We do this again, same time, same place next week. Keep safe. God bless. On the sign language interpretation was Sami Okello. See you again. Good night.